is here to help in every way and to keep you informed on what's going on. So we're very excited today, along with the foundation, to bring to you this panel discussion. On the ballot are three propositions: the bond proposition for construction and renovation of the schools, the millage proposition for technology, and the millage proposition for salary. We're very excited today because we have three speakers, each one with their own specialty, and are going to give us a broad view of what's going on. Our speakers today will be, of course, Sonja Bailes, who is welcome aboard, the new public liaison for public relations liaison for Bossier Parish. I only had one cup of coffee. DC, best move you made. Let me tell you, darling. You know, we love you, but she is pretty. We do have our favorite tax man, Mr. Bobby Edmiston, the Bossier Parish tax assessor, who everybody loves. And then, of course, last but not least, is Scott Hughes, the executive director for the Alliance of Education. Each of them will come up and give details. Sonja has already presented to the board this and did an excellent job. And so we're trying to figure out what the propositions are, what the needs are for the schools, for the parish, and our teachers and technology. So Sonja, if you'll come on board, we'll be glad.
Thank you. And I also want to thank the Bossier Chamber of Commerce as well as the Greater Bossier Economic Development Foundation for giving us this opportunity to be able to share our vision for Bossier schools and our future. Now, for those of you who have children or perhaps grandchildren in the Bossier school system, particularly in the north, south, or east parts of the parish, then this is not going to be big news to you. But for those of you who perhaps have not been in one of our schools lately, well, here's a news flash, if you will. Bossier schools are going through a growth spurt. Right now, we have record enrollment of 21,242 students. We have added more than 400 new students just this year alone to our rolls. That's the equivalent of a new elementary school every other year in Bossier Parish. And all indications are that this trend will only continue. So I think it's easy to see why we are literally bursting at the seams. Even our new State Superintendent of Education, John White, who was here last week at the town hall meeting, said that people are moving to Bossier because of our school system, because of the education that we offer our children. And you know what? A good school system is good for business. And while, of course, growth is a good thing, we feel very blessed that we are growing, it does present us with some challenges. As our student enrollment grows, so must we. We have to add on some classroom wings to some of our schools. We also have to build new schools in some of our high-growth areas. And that is what our construction bond on the ballot April 21st will address. And I want to underscore that it will not cost any of you in this room a penny more than what you are already paying. What we are asking is simply to be able to restructure the current 13.55 tax millage so we can sell bonds to be able to finance construction and renovations. Now here's how it breaks down. The bond is for $210 million total. $202.5 million of it is for construction and renovations. $7.5 million of it is for debt retirement. It's to refinance and pay off past construction. Now the work is divided into two phases. Phase 1 is for years 1 through 5. Phase 2 is for years 6 through 10. And I mentioned the high growth areas. Well, we have 4 identified growth areas in our parish. Those being North Bossier, Benton, Houghton, and South Bossier. And to address the needs in those areas, here's what the Phase 1 would call for. And again, this is for years 1 through 5. Beginning in the Airline Attendance District, our plan calls for adding new wings and renovations at Airline High School. In particular, we would tear down the existing E and F wings, which are both 2 stories, and we would replace them with 3-story classroom wings. It is our largest high school in Bossier Parish, and they are quickly running out of space. Also, it would include new wings at Cope and Green Acres Middle Schools, as well as W.T. Lewis Elementary School, and then paving at Legacy. More particularly, it will be a parent's drive that will be added, again, the result of growth there at Legacy Elementary. Now, over in the Benton attendance zone, the plan calls for a new elementary school somewhere in the Kingston Road corridor. Right now, an exact location has not been determined. Also paving at Benton High School, as well as the middle school, and some paving and drainage at the elementary school. Now, in the Bossier High School District, required electrical work and some renovations will be done. There are some safety issues that simply must be addressed there at Bossier High School. Now we're going to go to our east in Houghton. We're planning on building a new middle school in the Tuscany neighborhood. Right now, the Bossier school system already owns 30 acres in Tuscany, and that's where the new middle school will be built. Now, the existing Houghton Middle School will become a K-5 elementary school. That's to alleviate the overcrowded conditions experienced right now at T.L. Rhodes, Platt, and Princeton elementary schools. And then, in plain dealing, new electrical service at Carey Martin, again, for safety reasons. Now we're going to talk about the Bossier Technical School. This is perhaps one of the most exciting parts of Phase 1 in the school board's plan. It would be called the Bossier Center for Technology and Advanced Learning. And not only is a new technical school needed, but it's also required by our accrediting agency. We have been instructed to come up with a plan of action by the end of this year on how we will move the Bossier Technical School back to this side of the Red River. A lot of people do not realize that we actually share space in Shreveport. We're on the campus of Louisiana Technical College. We share space there. Our students have to go across the river to Shreveport to be able to take advantage of programs offered by the technical school. This will move the technical school back to Bossier. Now, the technical school will serve every high school in Bossier Parish, potentially every student in Bossier Parish, offering dual enrollment for college credits as well as national industry certifications in various industries. And to give you an idea of what the board is envisioning, I want to show you Birdville's Center for Technology and Advanced Learning. It is a remarkable success. It is in North Richland Hills, Texas, which is right outside of Grapevine. We're going to show you some video, take you inside the school that a few of our board members had the opportunity to visit not that long ago. And I want to tell you that a career in technical education is not just trade school or VOTEC that you might envision from years ago. This is not woodshop where they build birdhouses. At Birdville, courses include banking, financing, engineering, culinary arts, graphic arts, forensics, audiovisual production, welding, health sciences, and much, much more. It's an open concept, as you can see. You see through the classrooms there. Students get hands-on experience in all of the different programs, and some of them even produce revenue. This is the Culinary Arts Department right here. They operate a bistro cafe when you first walk in. Not only do the culinary arts students prepare the food for the bistro cafe, they also run and manage it. So they're also getting managerial experience as well. They produce a stream of revenue that in turn comes back to their program and to their school. Also, there is a large meeting room, a banquet room there that's available free of charge every day for the community to be able to come in and use. And in turn, the community hires the culinary arts program to be able to cater their events. Once again, another stream of revenue coming back to culinary arts and to Birdville. Another example, the audiovisual department with an incredible television studio. It is a working studio where students produce not only newscasts, but they also produce commercials for the business community as well as animation. And they're also able to produce a stream of revenue in that way. Now, administrators at Birdville are quick to tell you the key to their success is the business community. They have the backing from their business leaders. In fact, the business leaders are the ones who sit on their various advisory boards, letting them know what their workforce needs are, how the workforce, their industry is changing, and how they need to adapt perhaps their curriculum coming down the way. They also offer student internships, student scholarships, and yes, on down the road, jobs as well, because they've made that connection with those students. And in turn, what do businesses get? Businesses get a better educated, better skilled workforce, something that we are repeatedly told is lacking and needed in Louisiana and in North Louisiana. Our desire at Bossier's new technical school is to add programs in oil and gas in response to the Haynesville Shale. Also, TV filmmaking for our burgeoning movie industry. I mean, we have 2 Oscar winners now in Shreveport, Bossier. And also doubling the size of the welding program. I mentioned that we're out of space to be able to offer some of the programs that we would like. There's actually a very long waiting list of students wanting to be able to take welding classes in particular, but there's simply not the space to accommodate them right now. With our 110,000 square foot Bossier Technical Center for Advanced Technology, we could remedy that problem and be able to offer these opportunities to our students of Bossier Parish. Now that is a brief overview of the projects in Phase 1, again for years 1 through 5. Now let's briefly run through Phase 2. These are the projects that will be for years 6 through 10. And before we start going down that list, I do want to let you know that these plans are not set in stone. We will grow where we need to, which means that demographic studies and data will determine exactly the scope of these projects and where some of these schools will go. But beginning again in the airline attendance zones, new wings will be added to Apollo Elementary, Hope Middle School, and Green Acres Middle School. In Benton, plans call right now for building a new high school and then moving the Benton Middle School to the existing high school and then the elementary school to the existing middle school. In the Houghton District, a new wing at Houghton High School. And then in the Parkway District, the plan calls for a 12-room wing addition at Parkway High School and then a 12-room wing addition at a South Bossier Elementary. Again, that's going to be determined on where we need to grow in South Bossier. And then finally, in plain dealing, there are some required renovations that we need to address. So $2 million would go toward Carey Martin Elementary, and then $2 million to LA New Tech there in plain dealing. Again, everything that you just saw is at no increased cost. It is a continuation of the existing 13.55 millage rate. Now we are, however, asking for 2 new tax initiatives, one for salaries, the other for technology. Both are mission critical for Bossier schools to continue to grow and to progress and move forward. Bossier Parish School employees have not had a cost of living increase since 2005, when the sales tax passed and only a percentage of that sales tax went towards salaries. So it's been 7 years. You couple that with the fact that, as we know, we've had inflation, insurance costs have gone way up, and actually many of them are making less now than they were 7 years ago. But if that's not argument enough to justify a pay raise, then consider this. To retain the quality educators that Bossier schools are known for, and to also attract new educators, those who are highly sought after by other school districts, then we have to be competitive. We have to pay them. But look at how Bossier Parish measures up right now compared to 4 other parishes, our neighboring parishes. We're on the bottom of the pack. Our starting salary for teachers is $40,141. Now, 5% pay raise would take us slightly above Caddo to $42,148. But again, that's still behind Webster, DeSoto, and Red River parishes. Same goes for a teacher with 15 years experience or a master's degree. Right now they make $49,598 in the Bossier school system. A 5% hike would take them just past Caddo's salary at $52,077. But again, they can still drive just a few miles down the road to another parish and make more. In fact, it's happening. We know that it's happening. Can we catch up to DeSoto and Red River parishes? No. We know that we can't, because we didn't cash in on the Haynesville Shale, unfortunately. But we do believe that we can at least be competitive to our east and to our west. So how much is it going to cost? I know this is what everybody is zeroing in on. Well, let's first of all begin with you as a homeowner. If a home is valued at $150,000, the monthly cost, the additional amount would be $5.78. A home valued at $200,000 would cost an additional $9.64. And a home valued at $300,000, an additional $17.34. I paid more than $17 at Arby's the other night just for 2 people, I will say that. Now for businesses with taxable assets of $300,000, it would be an additional $34.69 per month. It's $57.81 for a business with $500,000 in taxable assets and $115.63 additionally for a business with $1 million in taxable assets. Again, keep in mind, to keep our experienced educators in the classroom, to keep your child's teacher in the classroom, then we have to be competitive and also to be able to attract new ones. We have to pay people. Now, the other tax initiative that we're seeking is for 3.6 mils for a recurring technology fund. We simply cannot risk falling behind the times or being as productive in the classroom as we can. Technology, of course, has become a core part of our curriculum, and it's at the forefront of everything that we do. It is certainly at the forefront of everything that our kids do. They basically are born with some sort of technology in their hand. They haven't figured out in the first year or two for sure. It is how they communicate. It is how they learn. It is how we have to teach today to be able to relate to them. Yet our technology department has no recurring funding source dedicated for technology. The other school districts have had this in place for a number of years, and we simply can no longer ignore funding technology and providing our kids with the tools they need to be able to compete now and in the future. This millage would generate $3 million a year for the next 10 years. And here's a brief overview of where it would go, beginning with district-wide infrastructure. You know, somebody asked, when are you going to replace textbooks with e-readers or iPads or whatever the latest, greatest wireless device is? Well, the answer is not until we have the infrastructure in place across the entire school district. Some have it, some don't. It's in pockets sometimes. We have to put the bones in place first before you can outfit everybody with an iPad or what have you. Otherwise, you might get a connection, or it might be very slow. You can't guarantee that you're going to have a fast connection in the classroom without infrastructure district-wide. And you know what a slow connection means? It means lost productivity in the classroom for students and for teachers. It means idle time. Now, we also have to upgrade our bandwidth to obviously increase our speed, as well as to install network switches. And it's a life safety issue that we replace our paging and intercom systems, allowing us to have two-way communication. Our current system, quite honestly, has become a constant maintenance problem. We also have to upgrade the servers for file storage, data backup, that type of thing. And also, mainframe hardware and software has to be replaced within the next 24 months for payroll, purchasing, and accounting, as well as our student information system for student grades and records, as well as for the lunch system. Just like your home PC, which becomes obsolete after just a few years, ours is now on the last leg. We only have about 24 months before it absolutely has to be replaced. Now for hardware and equipment, that's pretty much exactly like it sounds. That is actually for the e-readers or tablets, what have you, for computers, for projectors, that type thing. Also to upgrade the servers in our schools, and also for the camera surveillance systems that we have in our schools, as well as the printing technology, the printers. And now software, as well as software as a service. This is for maintenance agreements, such as for the 3,000 phones that Bossier Schools has. We have a company that we contract with that maintains and services our phone systems. It keeps us from having to hire additional personnel just to be able to maintenance the phones. It's cost effective. It is a wise use of taxpayer dollars. And then also for IT support. The way that I like to explain this and the way that I understand it is if I go to Best Buy and I buy something and I take out the extended warranty and I have a problem, well, kind of like Morris Farm. One call does it all. I call the Geek Squad. And they come and they fix it for you. Well, this is what IT support is for. They would maintenance our technology. It eliminates the wait for one of our few school technicians that we have right now, which can get teachers back in the game faster, teaching our students. And then finally, professional development and training. This is for technical training on the new technology, on new software programs, both by our vendors as well as by our technology department. So let's break it down as far as dollars and cents. For homeowners, an additional 3.6 mils each year would cost $2.25 for a home valued at $150,000. It's $3.75 additional for a $200,000 home. And a home valued at $300,000 would see an increase of $6.75. Now for business owners. A business with $300,000 in taxable assets, it's an additional $13.50 a month. It's $22.50 additionally a month for a business with $500,000 in taxable assets. And a business with $1 million in taxable assets would see a rise in cost of $45 each month. Do you think that we want to go to our public and ask for 2 new taxes? Absolutely not, especially considering the economic climate that we're in right now. But we know that we have to. We also know that most of our employees live in Bossier Parish, and they're going to be paying these taxes too. But if their salary increases, they have more buying power. They have more borrowing power, and that benefits our business community. The Bossier school system is actually the second largest employer in Bossier Parish. Our overall impact on the economy is $282.7 million. We support more than 8,000 direct and indirect jobs. So not only do we bring revenue to Bossier Parish. We also, again, bring people to Bossier Parish because remember what I said earlier, people are moving to Bossier for our school system. The Bossier school system offers a good return for your money. I want you to look at how we stack up when it comes to Caddo schools. Bossier taxpayers pay far less for the quality that they get. I think you can do the math and see that Bossier residents get a lot of bang for their buck when it comes to our education system. And with your support, we have a chance to be even better. Our children won't have to be in overcrowded classrooms. We'll be able to retain and detain highly effective educators. And by coming up to speed in terms of technology, we raise the bar for our students, making them competitive and part of that skilled workforce, again, that's needed for our parish, our state, to grow. We cannot afford to get this far only to let other parishes pass us by. Grow with us, explore with us, invest in us. An investment in Bossier schools is an investment in the future of our community.